Let's talk about corn, the backbone of American agriculture, a crop that stretches as far as the eye can see across the heartland. For generations, corn has been more than just a plant. It's been a way of life, a source of pride, and a pillar of rural communities. It's a symbol of prosperity, feeding not just the nation but the world. From breakfast cereals to biofuels, corn is woven into the fabric of daily life. But lately, that symbol is in trouble. Fields that once promised abundance now face uncertainty, and the mood among farmers has shifted from hope to anxiety. Massive ships loaded with U.S. corn are being turned away from international ports, their cargo rejected after long journeys across the ocean. Imagine showing up to a party with a cake only to be told, "Sorry, we don't want your ingredients." That's the reality facing American farmers right now. This isn't a minor hiccup, it's a full-blown crisis with billions of dollars and farmers' livelihoods at stake. Entire communities are feeling the ripple effects from local businesses to schools. Major trading partners are rejecting U.S. corn, sending shockwaves through the industry, and raising tough questions about the future. Former President Trump is reportedly furious, blasting out complaints about unfair trade and demanding answers from both allies and rivals. But this goes beyond a few bad batches. It's about reputation, trade relationships, and the future of American farming. The world is watching, and trust is on the line. Suddenly silos are full of corn nobody wants. The golden harvest has become a burden, piling up with nowhere to go. So, what happens when the world's corn superpower loses its golden ticket? Someone else steps in to fill the gap, eager to claim the spotlight. Enter Canada, our neighbor to the north, quietly preparing for this moment. While American farmers face rejection, Canadian growers are signing billion-dollar deals and becoming the new go-to source for premium corn. Their exports are surging, and their reputation is on the rise. It's a stunning reversal, with Canada seizing the spotlight and rewriting the rules of the game. This saga is about more than trade. It's about genetic engineering, regulations, and the future of the global food supply. The choices made today will echo for years to come. We'll dig into why U.S. corn is getting the cold shoulder, how Canada turned crisis into opportunity, and what it all means for farmers, families, and the economy at large. Grab some popcorn, maybe Canadian, and settle in. This story is just getting started. This is going to be a bumpy ride, with twists and turns that no one saw coming. Why is American corn suddenly unwelcome in so many places around the world? What's behind this sudden shift in attitude toward a crop that's been a global staple for decades? It comes down to one thing: GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. These are corn varieties that have been engineered for higher yields and pest resistance. Certain GMO corn varieties approved in the US haven't been cleared by key international buyers, especially in regions with strict food safety regulations. The US says it's safe, and points to years of research, but other countries want to finish their own paperwork and conduct independent reviews before giving the green light. This issue isn't new, but it's reached a breaking point as more countries tighten their import rules and demand full traceability. For years, exporters relied on an honor code to keep unapproved varieties out of shipments, trusting that everyone followed the rules. Now, importing nations are using advanced testing methods to detect even a trace of unapproved GMOs, making it nearly impossible for mistakes to slip through. Just a few rogue kernels can get an entire shipload rejected, no matter how careful exporters try to be. The result? Costly rejections at ports across Asia and Europe, with ships sometimes waiting for days or even weeks for a decision. Exporters face huge expenses rerouting or discounting rejected shipments, and the financial losses can be staggering. This has created deep uncertainty. Buyers don't want to risk disrupted supply chains or unreliable deliveries. The US is starting to look like a gamble, not a safe bet, and confidence in American corn is slipping. Long-time trading partners are looking elsewhere for corn, seeking more predictable and stable sources. And as always, when there's a vacuum in the market, someone steps in. This time it's Canada, ready to fill the gap. The stage is set for a major shift in the global corn trade, with new players and new routes emerging on the world stage. At the heart of the issue lies a fundamental mismatch in how different countries regulate genetically modified organisms, or GMOs. This regulatory gap is the root of a growing problem for American agriculture. In the United States, new genetically modified crops are often approved at a rapid pace. Farmers, eager to boost yields and stay competitive, are quick to adopt these new seeds and rush to plant them across vast fields. But in other parts of the world, especially in Europe and Asia, the approval process for the very same GMO varieties can drag on for years, bogged down by bureaucracy and public debate. This time, lag creates a risky situation. American farmers may be growing a new GMO corn that hasn't yet been accepted by key trading partners overseas. Even a trace amount of unapproved corn can end up mixed into shipments, potentially contaminating entire loads destined for export. The reality is, keeping different corn varieties completely separate is nearly impossible within the massive, interconnected U.S. grain system. From the moment corn leaves the farm to when it's loaded onto ships, it's mixed and blended, making total segregation a logistical nightmare. Imagine trying to pick out just one color of sprinkle from a giant jar. Nearly impossible. And that's what farmers are up against. Farmers are caught in a tough spot, encouraged to adopt the latest technology for efficiency, but facing the risk of losing access to crucial export markets if they do. This isn't a debate about whether GMOs are good or bad, it's about the confusion and chaos that erupt when countries play by different sets of rules. The result? A tangled mess that's now strangling a vital part of the American economy, leaving farmers and exporters frustrated and uncertain. Until global regulations align and countries find common ground, this problem is here to stay, threatening the stability of U.S. agriculture. The U.S. grain system simply isn't designed for this level of precision, and the cracks are starting to show. And in the end, it's American farmers who are paying the price, facing financial losses and an uncertain future. While the U.S. struggles, Canada is thriving. Canadian agriculture took a cautious approach to GMOs, working closely with trading partners. Their secret weapon? A robust identity preservation system, keeping different grains separate from seed to ship. If a buyer wants non-GMO or a specific variety, Canada can guarantee it. This traceability gives international buyers the certainty they crave. Canada is now the reliable supplier of choice, signing new contracts as U.S. exporters scramble. Buyers are willing to pay a premium for Canadian reliability. The Canadian government has actively promoted these standards, investing in infrastructure and technology. This coordinated approach stands in stark contrast to the fragmented U.S. system. Canada's strategy has turned America's crisis into a billion-dollar opportunity. They're not just selling corn, they're selling trust. And in global trade, trust is everything. The numbers tell the story. U.S. corn exports are down, while Canada's are booming. Canadian firms are signing long-term billion-dollar contracts with former U.S. customers. These aren't just spot deals, they're strategic shifts in supply chains. Canadian farmers are seeing record profits and expanding operations to meet demand. The success is fueling more investment in quality control, reinforcing Canada's advantage. Canada is also exporting more processed corn products like cornmeal and sweeteners thanks to their compliance guarantees. They're capturing a bigger share of the entire value chain. Once buyers switch suppliers, it's hard to win them back. Canada has established itself as the gold standard for reliable corn exports, and those contracts will shape the market for years to come. Meanwhile, American farmers are feeling the pain. Shrinking international demand pushes corn prices down. Those who can't guarantee non-GMO corn are locked out of premium markets, forced to sell at lower prices domestically. The ripple effect hits rural economies. Less money for equipment, supplies, and local businesses. Communities feel the strain as job losses and closures mount. Farmers face tough choices: switch to older, approved varieties or invest in costly segregation systems. It's a fundamental challenge to the way American farming has operated for decades. The stress is mounting, with many feeling betrayed by the system. They're caught in a crisis they didn't create, and the toll is heavy. The future for many American farmers is uncertain. The corn crisis has exploded into a political firestorm in Washington. Lawmakers are under pressure to act, demanding aid for farmers and aggressive trade negotiations. The crisis exposes the downside of prioritizing speed over international consensus and approving new technologies. Former President Trump is furious and political opponents are seizing the moment. The administration faces a delicate balancing act: push for faster approvals abroad without sparking a trade war. There are calls for better coordination between U.S. and international regulators. Some suggest delaying commercialization of new GMOs until key markets approve them, but powerful biotech and ag lobbies resist change. The political battle over the future of American agriculture is just beginning. The outcome will shape not just trade but the direction of U.S. farm policy. The stakes couldn't be higher. This corn crisis is part of a bigger shift in global food markets. The U.S. is no longer the unchallenged breadbasket. Countries like Canada, Brazil, and Ukraine are rising. Buyers now demand specific attributes: non-GMO, organic, or sustainable. Countries that can guarantee these traits, like Canada, have a major edge. The future of trade is about value, verification, and meeting diverse needs, not just volume. Regulatory mismatches, like with GMOs, create chaos and uncertainty. This crisis could push for more harmonized international standards. Adaptation is key. Those who adjust to new realities will thrive. The U.S. must decide, stick with the old model, or evolve to meet global demands. The choice will determine its place in world agriculture. So where does this leave us? With rejected American corn and a booming Canadian sector. The Great Corn Rejection is a cautionary tale for global trade. Domestic decisions like approving new GMOs can't ignore international realities. Canada's rise is no accident. It's the result of a strategy focused on quality and reliability. The U.S. must rethink how it balances innovation with market access. For American farmers, the path forward is tough. They need urgent help and long-term solutions. The goal: let farmers benefit from new tech without losing export markets. This story is bigger than corn. It's about the future of international trade. Will we move toward cooperation and harmonized standards, or more trade disputes? The choices made now will shape the global system for years. As for who has the best corn, the market's answer is clear. Right now, Canada's got the edge. The world is watching, and so are American farmers. The next chapter is up to us.